Today, the United States, together with our allies and partners, has reached a historic understanding with Iran, which, if fully implemented, will prevent it from obtaining a nuclear weapon. This framework would cut off every pathway that Iran could take to develop a nuclear weapon. Iran will face strict limitations on its program, and Iran has also agreed to the most robust and intrusive inspections and transparency regime ever negotiated for any nuclear program in history.
And of course, the problem is Iran has agreed to nothing. Joining us now is Andrew Bostom, professor of medicine at Brown University, PJ Media columnist, and author of Iran's Final Solution for Israel. All right, Doctor, you wrote a piece which I just found at andrewbostom.org, which I found fascinating. This compromise. I mean, anytime you hear out of the blue, Barack Obama says, all right, I agree with Congress, they should have a role in this, you know it's got to stink from the inside out, the outside in, up and down and sideways. Something's not right. He wouldn't just capitulate. So you looked at this Corker bill, which is the great victory being claimed by the members of Congress. See, we got our say. But this bill stinks.
Steve, I went through the bill. It took me a little while to find it. Before I found it, I actually saw an honest report in Politico that said that the bill explicitly states that Congress does not have to approve the diplomatic deal struck by Iran. And moreover, a very good report in the Washington Post pointed out how Obama, quote, retains the right to veto any action to scuttle an Iran pact. So in other words, Senator Johnson lamented the fact. I mean, he still signed on to it, but he lamented the fact that this was an after-the-fact role of review, basically created, which he said remained a long way from advice and consent for such an agreement. Now, this is an arms control agreement, Steve, and the fact that Obama has turned the tables on this Republican-dominated Senate, so that they have to accept the basic agreement. Then they are privileged to be able to review it after the fact, and if they find some objections, they can attempt to do something to the sanctions regimen to reinstate it if 34 Democrats don't vote against it.
Right, 2/3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so he's totally turned the tables on them. And what is the leverage? I think in the end, the leverage over these senators, including the Republicans, is that none of them seem to have the moral clarity and bravery of Tom Cotton, who is standing up for the Constitution and saying, no, this is an arms treaty. It needs 2/3 advice and consent. And oh, by the way, we need to hold the military option out there because that's the only way in the end to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. And I would add to Senator Cotton's, for his edification, that, and I think he knows this, but I'll repeat it, Iran has been at war with us for 36 years. The idea that somehow to talk about a tactical strike that eliminates their infrastructure is tantamount to warmongering is another form of capitulation.
Right, and of course, Obama. Look, I don't doubt for a minute that Obama is signed on or signed off or maybe precipitated Russia's now lifting of the arms embargo when it comes to the surface-to-air missiles that they're selling Iran. Once those are in place, it would make it so much more dangerous for Israel or the United States or anybody to use that military option. Obama has Iran's butt covered every which way.
Well, I mean, your senator may have had it called out right when when Menendez said that he seemed to be getting his talking points, or the Obama administration seemed to be getting their talking points from Tehran. I mean, this is so awful.
That was before he was indicted.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But it's very disheartening, Steve, to see that Republicans, conservatives are pretending somehow that this is a victory for them, and to see Corker on with O'Reilly the other night as if this was a great triumph and as if Obama had been humiliated is just ridiculous.
No, he played them like a fiddle, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Listen, Andrew, great stuff. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Folks, we're going to come back with the associate editor of the